This is Ryan from GameHeart, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create your own custom version of the GameHeart extension mod so that you can import your tournament logos and also any custom team logos you need as well. But before I can show you that, you need to have those logos ready to go, ready to import into the editor. So I created another video that will specifically cover how to convert your logos into the DDS file type, which is what we need for importing into the editor. So you'll find a link to that video both in the description of this video as well as on your screen somewhere right now if you have annotations enabled. So please check that out first and then come back to this video. Alright, so if you have all your logos ready to go now, and here you can see in this folder I have a bunch of logos that I'm going to want to import. Here are the two league logos that we're going to import that will show up on the map in the middle of the map somewhere nice and big that demonstrate it's the league. So this would be like DreamHack or the MLG logo or whatever. We also have a bunch of little team logos, and these will be selectable from menus near the player's name in the lobby. You will, if you import a logo called customteam01.dds, it will correspond to a team that you can select in the drop-down menu next to a player's name in the lobby called customteam01. Okay, so whatever logo you import with this file name, that's what will show up when you select that team from the drop-down list, and we'll demonstrate that a little later. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to create an extension mod for Nation Wars. Now they already have a version of GameHeart up online, but since I just changed how GameHeart works, I'm going to need to update and create a new one for them that they can use later this month for their big event. So let's get started. I'm going to launch the editor here. And the first thing we're going to do once we get into the editor is we're going to go and grab the default version of GameHeart, the normal version of GameHeart, because we're going to make a copy of that basically. Alright, so we're going to go to File, Open. Americas is fine, so I'm going to log in here. And there's three different tabs here: Local Files, Battle.net, and Campaign. I don't want local files. I want battle.net. We definitely don't want campaign. And set the file type here to SE2 StarCraft 2 mod files. And then this drop down, set it to map/mod name and put GameHeart in here and click go. And you'll see a bunch of different mods that have GameHeart in the name, but we don't need all those. The only one we need is the one just called GameHeart. That's it, just GameHeart. So click on that, it'll start downloading, or you might have to click download over here. It'll download this thing, and then we're going to click OK. Alright. So now it's opening the GameHeart mod. Alright. So the first thing I'm going to do now that I've got this open is I'm actually going to go ahead and go up here to where it says mod. I'm going to go to mod info, and I'm going to change the name from GameHeart because it's not going to let us upload a mod with the same name as GameHeart. So I'm going to call this N Wars extension because that's the name of their current mod. So we just want to overwrite the current mod so that they know they'll get exactly what they're looking for when they search for it. And we're going to click OK. And then we're going to save this. So File, Save As, and I'm going to save it as over this file here. We don't need that anymore, so we're going to save over that. Yes, we want to replace it. And so now we have a kind of a custom version of GameHeart here. Well, it's not really customized yet, but it's a copy of GameHeart anyways. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Import. So that's up here at the top, Modules, Import. You can also just press F9 and you'll get a window that looks like this, right? So you see that there's a bunch of files in here already. These are all just blank textures, placeholder textures, waiting for you to overwrite them, basically. All right, and so the way we're going to do that is we're going to import some files that have the same file names as these. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to import the League 1 and League 2 textures, right? So let's, navigate to the folder that has your textures in it. I actually already happen to be there because this is the second time I try to make this video. As always, I can never do it on the first try. So I just unchecked this because I don't want to import all these yet. I just want to import the league logos. So there's league1.dds and league2.dds. And you'll see what happens when I try to import these is it'll warn me, hey, are you sure you want to overwrite these? Well, overwriting them is exactly what we're trying to do. So if you don't get this, that means you probably have the wrong file name or something, and it won't have any effect in game if you just import the file with the wrong file name. So you got to make sure you get the right file name there. And you'll immediately see it shows Nation Wars over here. But I want to show you something else, and I've noticed that I'm using OBS to record this video, and the color is really discolored and shitty. But one thing that you might notice, I hope you can notice, is that the coloring on the League 1 and League 2 textures down here is different than the rest of them. It's purple. That means that we have imported textures that have the same name as these files, but we have not saved the document yet. And textures won't do anything until we save the document. They may as well not even exist within the file until we save. So let's go ahead and just save right now. File, save, and you'll see they just turned black again from purple. So now they're in the file. We're good to go. All right. So you'll notice I imported two textures that have the same image. This is just because Nation Wars only has one image that they want to use on the map at the moment. But let's say, for example, if you're DreamHack Open, DreamHack Open uses two different logos. They have the DreamHack Open logo, and then they have the WCS logo. So they would import the DreamHack Open logo for League1.dds and the WCS logo for League2.dds, and then they would have the two different logos appearing on the map. Now, there are a couple of maps that only display one logo. I believe that's Alterzim and Catalina right now. So just be aware of that. When that happens, it will display league1.dds and not league2.dds, so it'll only display the first file. So now let's import our new custom team logos. So I'm going to go to import files again. It's the same folder. You have to navigate to wherever yours are. This time I'm going to leave that checked just because just uncheck the things that I don't want. Alright, so now I've just got the custom team stuff checked. I'm going to click yes, and see all of the right textures are being overwritten. And then we'll see these immediately on the right. And let's file save immediately, since we just imported stuff. And we'll go up here, and we can actually see there's Canada, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Italy, Mexico, Netherlands, Norway, Poland, Russia, Spain, Sweden, UK, Ukraine, and the United States of America. So there's our, because I'm sure some of these have been eliminated from their tournament already, but we're going to import them into this anyways. So let's go to our description now, which we can't access from the import module for whatever reason. So let's go back to the triggers module, which would be F6, and we're going to go to mod info. Now here's a horrifically out-of-date description in the GameHeart extension mod that we want to overwrite. Now unfortunately, this little text box here will only allow you to put so long a description in, and it's not going to be long enough for our purposes. What we want to do here is we want to put a list of the custom team names with what team they correspond to. Alright, that way if someone's in the lobby using this mod and they're like, wait, what does custom team 01 correspond to? they can go into the mod info and see that it corresponds to Canada. So if they have a Canadian in their game, they can give him the Canada logo, right? So we need to get that in here, but you can see, and I have like a little list that I've already created of what corresponds to what. So I'm going to try to copy paste this into this field here. But it's not long enough, right? It cuts me off at 12 and there should be 16. So that's not going to work. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Modules, Text, which is F8. This is the text editor. You would normally go in here to localize text or create new fonts. But what we're going to do is we're going to modify the description in the text editor. So here it is. You can see docinfo/DESC long, description long. So here's the same text that was just in the mod info we were looking at a minute ago. We're going to select that, and now we're going to copy and paste. And you see it lets us put all of it in here. So we'll just save it and then go back to triggers. And we're almost good to go. If we were to publish this right now, it would do pretty much everything that we need it to do. But first, I want to show you really quickly how you can disable GameHeart features, because with this new GameHeart, everything is on by default, including team sponsors. And I know some tournaments don't want to show team sponsors because they're worried they'll conflict with their own sponsors and that sort of thing. So I want to make it clear that you can still disable this stuff. So let's go to Modules Data, which is F7. And this is going to get kind of complicated. So there's a bunch of different tabs here. You might actually only have one tab open. But if you click this little plus tab, you'll see a bunch of different things here. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to go to Advanced Data, Edit Advanced Data, all the way to the bottom, User Types. And that just creates a new tab for us here, User Types. And you'll see a bunch of different options within User Types. Make sure this is set to All Data, right here, All Data. And make sure your settings at the top, your buttons look like this. You have the right things selected. It's very confusing trying to explain how to use the data editor to people because there are so many different ways to display it. So make sure you have it set like this. Just make it look like that so that you see the same things that I'm seeing. So what we see over here are GameHeart labels, GameHeart logos, GameHeart stronger colors, GameHeart team colored effects, MIT upgrade notifications, and MIT workers killed notifications. Now what these are the different features of GameHeart, basically. So say we didn't like stronger team colors, we would select GameHeart stronger team colors here. Then we would go over to the right, and you'd see over here a bunch of different things. But there's a field here called Instances. Now what I want you to do is select Index 1 within Instances. So here's Instances, Index 0, Index 1, and then I want to go over to the field here and double click. Right? So now we see something called GameHeart Stronger Colors Toggle. Double click again. Now we're in the user data instance here. So click on Stronger Team Colors in the values and you'll see 1 or 0. And this determines whether the feature is on or off. Now if I set this to 0, Stronger Team Colors will be off. With it set to 1, Stronger Team Colors are on. Okay? 1 means on, 0 means off. 1 means on, 0 means off. Now for, I can't remember what settings they wanted, so I'm going to have to ask them later. But for now, I'm going to just leave Stronger Team Colors on. I'm pretty sure they want that. And I'm going to instead go to show you how to turn off team sponsors. So let's go to GameHeart Logos. Go again over here to Instances 0, 1. Like Instances, here's Index 0 and then Index 1. And then over to the right and double click. And then we have GameHeart Team Sponsors Toggle. Double click. Values Team Sponsors, there's 1 again. We're going to set it to 0. Alright, so now that it's 0, it will no longer show team sponsors at the start of the game. Okay? So, You can see now that it's green because we've changed it over here. Well, actually, you may not be able to see that in the video because the color's so bad, but hopefully you can. So there we go. We've got stronger team colors changed, which we actually didn't want changed. Let's reset that. Reset user type. Not sure why that's changed. Well, it's not changed. It's just the editor is showing it as being changed for some reason. I really don't know why it has not been changed. But anyways, logos, we changed that correctly. So this is now 0. We're good to go. So we're going to save again. And remember, there's a bunch of other options here too. You can go into labels and you can turn off the research labels or the production labels, whichever ones you want. You can go, if you don't like the little worker notifications, workers killed notifications that pop up on the left, you can set this to 0 and it'll turn them off. If you don't like the red size storms, you can go into team colored effects and you can turn this off by setting it to 0. So very simple once you understand it, really complicated when you don't. So try to get the hang of that. And then just save your document, and now we're going to have to publish. All right. That way we can see it on battle.net. So go to File, Publish, and for Nation Wars, we only need to publish in Americas and Europe. So we're going to be overwriting an older file, so you'll see the version number over here. It might look a little different if you're publishing for the first time, but I just set mine to unlocked, and I make sure you make the release public. Otherwise, people who aren't you won't be able to see it online when they search for it. So make that public, and I recommend setting it to unlocked just so that you can download it and modify your own stuff later if you need to. If you lose it on your hard drive or something. If you leave it locked and you lose the file on your hard drive, you're kind of screwed. So I just leave I leave all my stuff unlocked, mostly just because it's really frustrating when you're a map editor or a map maker and you're trying to learn how to do something, and somebody out there has already done it, but you can't look at their stuff because everyone's locked it, and as if they're going to make millions of dollars from that, right? Like, no, I just leave my stuff open so anybody who wants to learn from it can. I'm not pretending I'm an expert or anything, but you know, at least they can learn from it if they want to. So let's go to publish. We already set it to our 2 regions, and we set our name and unlocked, and it's going to come up with something like this. And then let's just click publish. So Americas is trying to publish right now. Should only take a few seconds. Should only take a few seconds because it is not a very big file. It's about a megabyte, looks like. You'll get a little thing like this. It shows file transfers. So you can see the Americas file transfer just completed there. And now we're waiting for the Europe file transfer to complete. And once that is done, we'll be able to just launch right into StarCraft to go take a look at our new extension mod. Alright, so there we go. So let's go back to this thing, and this time let's go ahead and play. We're in the right region, so let's play. Sorry this is such a long video. It really doesn't take that long to do all this stuff once you know how to do it. It's just long trying to explain it. I swear everything takes like 10 times as long when I'm trying to record a video as it does when I'm not. Every loading screen takes forever. Every uploading file takes forever. Alright, come on. And sorry I won't edit all of that out, because I'm not very good at video editing. Try to record this in one long thing. Okay, so let's go to custom games now. And I'm going to go ahead and, these are all great and everything, but I'm going to go ahead and just go to Daedalus. Search for Daedalus. Daedalus point. Okay, and I'm going to go create with mod. So there's a bunch of different extension mods, but let's search for NWars. NWars. Alright, there it is. So let's create game with that. Okay, so we got our lobby. I'm going to make myself a referee. And I'm going to add a couple of AI players. These would probably be real players if this was a tournament. And you can see that there used to be a bunch of options in GameHeart over here to the left, but now there's zero. There's no GameHeart options over here anymore. I mean, there's still the normal game options, but no more GameHeart stuff. The idea is to speed up the process of creating games, and having lots of options creates lots of lag in the lobby as well, so we wanted to reduce that. Now, I want to select the right teams, so let's go ahead and let's say we want these guys to be Sweden. We'll make these guys Sweden up here. So let's actually, and we'll make these guys USA, so let's actually switch them up. Sweden will be blue, USA will be red. So first though, we need to know which custom team corresponds to each oops. Alright, I'm going to quit out real quick. We actually need to know which... I swear there was a way to get the actual mod info somewhere. I can't remember how to do it though, so we're going to quit. And we're going to go, alright, create with mod. And we need Sweden and USA. So let's see. Extension mod info. Here we see... Oh, it got cut off. What the hell? I was just testing this the other day at work and it all showed up fine. Okay, there we go, on the mouse over. When you mouse over it, you can see the full description. So, where is Sweden? Custom Team 13 is Sweden, and Custom Team 16 is USA. So 13 for Sweden, 16 for USA. Now, if you have one of the built-in teams like Team Liquid, Evil Geniuses, there's well over 100 teams already built in. You don't need to worry about using the custom team stuff. But if you have like a small local tournament and you want to use custom teams, you can do so. Alright, so let's do that. And we need to use custom team 16 for USA. There's that. And custom team, what did I say, 13 for Sweden. Alright. So I want to see if you mouse over this. They should make it so when you mouse over this you can see the mod info again. Okay, so let's go ahead and just start the game. We've already set up our player teams and everything. And let's really pray that this works. It will be really embarrassing if it doesn't. I just published this update a few hours ago and I've tested it a couple of times, but trying to make this video rapidly after publishing so that any tournaments coming up in the very near future have access to this information. And I am sorry that it puts more burden on tournaments setting up their logos in their own mods like this, but they won't be forced to rely on me to add their logos anymore, which will be a good thing because sometimes it can take me, a month or more before I can get around to adding a new tournament logo. Just because I'm busy and I can't constantly be on call for adding logos to GameHeart. It's very difficult. So I had to come up with a system that would allow us some more flexibility and other people maintaining and updating it. Alright, so here we are. We got our Sweden. And down here we got our USA. And on the map, we got our nation wars. Yay! Everything worked correctly. So we got all our settings. We see strong team colors on and our little production icons, and we're pretty much good to go. So that's how you set up your own extension mod. I know that was a long, excruciating video. I have kind of a monotonous voice, but hopefully you were able to sit through it. And good luck setting up all your stuff in the future.